this is weird. Definitely am figuring out that I like streaming better already, even in just the first few seconds. But yeah, I hope this video is good enough for you guys. I will see you in like 2 more weeks. But yeah, we're gonna have fun together anyway. And yeah, please leave me a comment on the bottom so I can still hear you guys, even though we are not together in real time right now. But yeah, let's get this spookiness going since it's October. Ooh. Okay, so this one. Okay, so this app, it's an app, and I figured out how to get it on my computer. So, it is called Choices. So yeah, this book is called The Haunting of Braidwood. So this story is called The Haunting of Braidwood Manor. Yes, and the first chapter is called Nightmares. What a good start. So, do you dare spend the night in Braidwood Manor? Victorian, ghosts, paranormal. Let's play it now. This book contains flashing lights and disturbing imagery. Player discretion is advised. So, yeah, if none of those things are healthy for you or wanted, then yeah, probably don't stay for this video. Guys, this song is so epic. Oh my goodness, it makes me so nostalgic. It makes me so freaking nostalgic. Okay, Nightmares. We're gonna play a girl. We're gonna play one that looks most like me. Okay, my look is just right. My name is not gonna be Hannah. We'll have Zetta. Actually, maybe we should do Hannah. We'll immerse. Oh crap. I'm angry. No, there we go. You wake to the sound of footsteps coming down the hall. Hello? Floorboards creak just outside your door and a shadow creeps along the threshold. The shadow lingers for a moment and then a knock sounds at the door. Thump thump. For some reason you can't quite explain, you stay quiet, hoping whoever's outside will just move on, but knowing deep down that they won't. Whoever's there, just leave me alone, or stay out, I've got a knife. We're gonna threaten them with our knife. You don't scare me. The knocking sounds again, harder this time, your teeth vibrating with each fall of the visitor's fist upon the door. Who are you? Go, please. Just go. Please. The door starts to bend and crack, the wood splintering inward until finally the door flies off its hinges. No, stay out! A silhouetted figure looms in your doorway, wreathed in fear. Please, don't come in! Did you forget me? The figure draws closer, the flames spreading through the room, choking the air with smoke. Did you forget what you did to me? What you did to your only brother? The plot thickens. Jonathan, please, I didn't do anything. Just leave me alone. You know I can't do that. Jonathan stretches out his arm, his hand closing around your throat. Let me go! I have to get away. Wake up or pull his arm away. We're gonna try to wake up. Oh snap, why does it say wake up? This is just a dream. Just a dream. I have to wake up. You shut your eyes against the nightmare, but the grip on your throat only grows tighter. Open your eyes, sister. This is no dream. You made me like this, and now I'll return the favor. What do you mean? I didn't do anything. Liar! Oh! Oh snap, intense music. You wake up again, gulping desperate lungfuls of air, the sheets gripped tightly in your balled fists. Why does this keep happening? You grab your phone off the nightstand and dial a number. Victor, it's Hannah. I need to talk. Now! Okay, thanks. I'll get dressed and head over. How should we dress? In a big coat? A nice little Christmas sweater? Or a shirt? Maybe we'll go back to the normal face. Okay. I'm gonna dress in a coat. This outfit is perfect! A short while later, oh, nice calming music. A short while later, you're sitting across from Victor in a booth at the campus coffee shop. So it sounds like the dreams are getting worse. They're not just dreams. I'm sorry, Hannah, but they are. Your brother's gone, and he's not coming back. I know he's not, Victor. I identified the body myself when they pulled him out of what was left of his car. But he's not at rest. He's angry. Angry at me. But why? What reason would he have to be angry at you? You look away, unable to meet Victor's gaze. All I know is that I can't take another night of this, Victor. I have to go to Braidwood Manor. Today! Can you drive me there or not? You mean, can I help you put yourself in an incredibly dangerous situation? Please! You're the only one I can trust. Or, if you don't do it, I'll find someone else who will. Okay, we're gonna be nicer and say, you're the only one I can trust, Victor. He takes your hand in his expression softening. Don't you understand? If something happened to you, I never forgive myself. I don't want to protect you. Oh, wait, I want to protect you, Hannah. I want something I can't give. At least, not right now. Oh! Victor leans back in his seat and lets out a sigh. Let's pretend I'm willing to go along with this. I still don't understand what you're hoping to find in some old house. You can't actually expect to find ghosts there, right? I've done the research. Braidwood Manor is for real. If there's anywhere I can learn what causes spirits to linger after death, it's there. Spirits? This isn't an episode of Ghost Hunters, Hannah. This is real life. I know how it sounds, but for my brother's sake, I have to try something. Now, are you going to drive me, or am I going to have to take a bus? Okay, I'll drive you there after my shift. I just hope you know what you're getting yourself into. That afternoon, you're sitting in the passenger seat of Victor's car, watching the landscape fly by out the window. I can't believe I'm doing this. Cheer up, it's not like you're driving me to an execution. It sure feels that way. Then you should make the most of our last moments together. Be fun. Now! Okay, how about a game of I Spy? I spy with my little eyes something white. Is it snow? We'll be nice. We're not going to be sassy right now. Wow, you're so good at this game. How could you guess? You burst out laughing and Victor grins at you. Thanks for always cheering me up, Victor. You're the best. Or, why do you put up with me anyway? I'll say you're the best. Finally, someone agrees with me. I always knew I was the best, but it feels good to hear someone else say it. Okay, in that case, I take it back. Sorry, Hannah. It's too late for that. Darn. What a cute relationship. Victor cranes his neck to look up through the windshield as the landscape changes outside. Wow, look at those trees. And all the snow. It's almost untouched out here. No other cars in sight either. I'm not surprised. Who in their right mind would want to drive all the way out here to Backwoods Manor? Yeah, Hannah, you're kind of out of your mind. Victor laughs as you roll your eyes. I can't really roll my eyes, can I? I was trying to roll my eyes, but I couldn't. So, do you want to tell me more about this place? Like, why is it so haunted? Well, are you sure it's not a happy story? Or, it was a dark and stormy night. The wind howled mournfully through the hills like the cry of a... Whoa, it's not that long of a drive. Just give me the facts. You're no fun. All right, here's what happened. Dun dun dun. So, Braidwood Manor was built around the turn of the last century for the Waverley family, who'd just arrived here from England. By all accounts, life in the manor was idyllic until the father went off to war. Let me guess, this is where things get ugly? Very. When he returned, he found his 3 youngest children dead from poisoning. The eldest daughter, Eleanor Waverley, had her throat cut. That's horrible. Terrible, I mean. Why did you tell me that? Hey, you asked! Anyway, ever since then, people have reported all sorts of strange occurrences happening at Braidwood Manor. If I can find out why the Waverley children never passed on to whatever comes after death, I'll be able to help my brother find peace. Hannah. Look, I know you think that I'm just being crazy or that I need to let him go or whatever, but I don't think that at all. I think you've been through a lot, and if this is what you feel you have to do, then I'll help you. Oh. I just want you to be safe, that's all. Victor, thanks for being so understanding. Or, I can take care of myself, Victor! We're gonna be nice. Victor's nice. Of course, that's what I'm here for. Understanding stuff. You're such a dork. A few minutes later, Victor takes a right at the weathered sign, and the road changes from asphalt to coarse gravel. At the end of the drive, Braidwood Manor looms like a storm cloud on the horizon, its darkened windows full of nameless foreboding. This must be the place. Yeah, this is it. You get out of the car and gawk at the manor's once majestic facade, your heart beating faster in your chest. Braidwood Manor. Pictures are one thing, but seeing it in person? Yeah, it's even creepier than I imagined. Are you sure I can't come with you? Sorry, Victor. I have to do this by myself. If you insist, when should I pick you up? Tomorrow morning? You continue to stare up at the manor, barely hearing Victor. I'll call you. I don't know how long I'll be. Okay, do you need to charge your phone or anything? Somehow I doubt that place is wired for electricity. You glance down at your phone and see that the battery icon has turned red. Crap, 15%! I've got my car charger if you want to use it. It won't take more than, 15 minutes, half an hour tops. Tutorial. Some choices cost diamonds. Okay, so in this game, you can collect diamonds. You get like 2 diamonds every time you read a chapter. But besides that, they cost money, real money. I have 130, so I'm gonna use it. You have to use 12 diamonds to be like, yeah, I really should charge my phone. So we're gonna do that for the sake of the video. Yay! And Victor will be part of the story more now if we charge our phone. So, yay, let's do it. Glad to hear it. Let's get you charged up. And we get another moment with Victor right now. You hand your phone over and Victor plugs it into the car adapter while you climb back into the passenger seat. I know you're eager to get started, but at least now you won't have to hitchhike your way back to campus. Yeah, that would be way more terrifying than a haunted house. Thanks for driving me, by the way, and thanks in advance for driving me back. Hey, no worries. I can't think of a better way to spend a Saturday than risking my life on icy roads with you. I'm trying to be serious for once, Victor. So am I. Victor grins at you and you bite back a smile. I know I haven't been the easiest person to be friends with since my brother died. But I want you to know how much I appreciate you being there for me, no matter what, even if I don't always know how to say it. You don't have to, you know? You do? More or less. Victor puts his hand on yours. You feel a flush rising to your cheeks as he leans closer. Already? What should I do? Oh! I don't have you guys right now to help me with this decision. I mean, we're gonna kiss him. Your lips find Victor's, and for a long moment you share a soft, tender kiss. Then he pulls away. I'm sorry, Hannah, but I shouldn't have done that. I know you're not ready. Oh, more to the backstory. Not yet, but I'm not sorry that happened. Ooh. Victor tries and fails to suppress a smile. Really? Really, I just need a little more time, that's all. Victor nods and then looks down at your phone. Speaking of time, looks like it's just about time for you to go. Huh? Your phone's done charging. Oh, duh. Victor hands the phone back to you, his fingers gently brushing against yours. Oh, physical touch. Hey, I know you're going to be busy looking for ghosts and stuff, but if you get a spare moment, do you mind if I call you? You know, just to check in, see how things are going. Of course, I'd like that. We're friends. I don't have to ask for permission. Oh, that's kind of friend zoning. So we're gonna say, I'd like that. Cool, awesome. I'll see you later, Hannah. Be careful in there, okay? I will. Bye, Victor. Bye. Because your phone is charged, you have locked extra scenes later in the book. Ooh. Yay. Oh, seriousness again. As the tail lights of Victor's car recede into the distance, you take a deep breath and turn to face Braidwood Manor. Well, I guess it's just you and me now. You make your way up the ice-slick steps leading to the manor, taking care not to slip. Soon, you're standing before the manor's great oak doors. You grasp the handle. Here goes nothing. You cross the threshold, letting the door fall close behind you, and look out across the dilapidated foyer. Oh, everything is crushed! Wow, I can't believe it's all still here. You take in the splintered furniture, the threadbare carpet, and the glittering wreckage of a falling chandelier. If what they say about this place is true, I might be able to get some answers here. I could help my brother find peace. You shrug off your backpack and set it by the staircase. A sudden creak of floorboards makes the hairs stand up on the back of your neck. What should I do? Ask who's there or go investigate? We are gonna investigate. You cross the foyer, your feeling of unease growing with each step you take. Maybe it's just the house settling, but maybe it's something more. How messed up am I that I actually want it to be a ghost? You make a slow circuit through the room, the faded portraits gazing down at you through a century's worth of dust. Just then you hear a sound like tiny feet running up the stairs and whirl around. Oh! Who's there? Who are you? Just stay away from me. Don't be afraid. I just want to talk. Your words are met with silence. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all. You feel a shiver run up your spine as you notice your backpack missing from where you left it by the stairs. Okay, this is starting to scare me. You walk over to the foot of the stairs and find a little tin soldier staring at you from the bottommost step. Oh, the tin soldier. Weird. This definitely wasn't there before. You look up the staircase to the second floor landing. Tin soldier guard every other stair, their little painted rifles slung up over their shoulders. What exactly am I dealing with here? You follow the trail of soldiers up the stairs to the second floor, gripping the banister for support. Who put these here? How many are there? At the top of the stairs, you find your backpack surrounded by a small battalion of tin soldiers, bayonets at the ready. What the? Reach for the backpack. We're gonna reach for the backpack. You stretch your hand, eyeing the soldiers' bayonets warily, and take hold of one of your backpack's canvas straps. Please don't come to life and stab me. What are you so scared of? They're just toys. Ah! You scream and stumble backwards, past the lip of the topmost stair. Your foot misses the next step, and you go tumbling down the staircase, landing hard at the bottom. Your head bounces against the marble floor, and everything goes black. You come in an unfamiliar room, the soft light of the moon slanting through the window. Huh? Where am I? Braidwood Manor is over 100 years old. This room looks like something out of time. Like the turn of the century was only yesterday. You hear a soft click as the doorknob turns. And the door slowly opens. Oh, and that was chapter 1 of the book. So now we are going to chapter 2, Out of Time. Your night in Braidwood Manor has only gotten stranger. Out of time. You watch with your heart in your throat as the bedroom door creaks open to reveal a young woman dressed in the fashions of a bygone era, her dark eyes fixed on you. Don't be afraid, Hannah. I don't mean you any harm. Who are you? My name is Eleanor Waverly. Welcome to Braidwood Manor. You're Eleanor Waverly? Wait, I can't speak. You're Eleanor Waverly? As in that Eleanor Waverly? I'm afraid so. You must have at least 100 questions right now. Yeah, you could say that. And I'll do my best to answer them, but I must ask that you be patient with me. There's still so much I don't understand about this place, this existence. Tell me, where am I? What are you? How did I get here? I'll say, what are you? Your kind would call me a ghost, and I suppose that's what I am. But I don't feel like a ghost. What do you feel like then? I feel the same as I did in life, except it feels like something's missing, or like I've taken a wrong turn. I feel lost, forgotten. I'll ask, how did I get here? Ah, about that. It seems my little brother Simon gave you a scare, and you fell and bumped your head. I carried you upstairs and put you to bed. I hope you don't mind. Not at all, I guess. You carried me? Yes, I just said that. Are you feeling all right? Yeah, I think so. I just didn't expect that, I guess. I'm not as fragile as I look, Hannah. Okay, where am I? Braidwood Manor, of course. Okay then, when am I? That's an altogether more difficult question. I know that in your world, this house is a shadow of its former self. My world? So we're somewhere else? I don't know, Hannah. I've come to think of this place as a memory. The rest of the world's kept moving, and we just stayed in the same. Now it's my turn to ask you a few questions. Okay. To start with, why are you here? I'm here because I was hiking and got lost, or I want to learn more about that. I want to learn about life. Blah! I want to learn more about life after death. I need to learn everything I can about ghosts. So, you're not afraid to be here? You wanted to meet me? Well, I won't pretend that this isn't a bit unusual. But yes, I wanted to come here. I wanted to meet you and your siblings. Why might I ask? You look across the grounds of Braidwood Manor and suppress a shiver. It's complicated. As you peer through the frosted glass of the window, you notice a dark shape standing amidst the trees on the edge of the property. It's freaking Jonathan in the forest! Jonathan! Jonathan! Your brother's ghost melts into the trees, leaving you looking out at a bare expanse of white snow. Eleanor moves to stand beside you, and she lays her hand on your shoulder. I think I understand. You were haunted before you ever set foot in this place. Eleanor, this is why I need to learn more about you, more about your world. Otherwise, I'll never be able to help my brother. Just let me stay here, please. I promise I won't cause you any trouble. A frown creases Eleanor's eyebrows, and then she smiles slightly. Come with me. Where are we going? I'm giving you the grand tour, of course. After all, if you're to stay here, you may as well get to know the house. You hurry to keep up with Eleanor as she strides out into the hall. So, you're letting me stay? Of course, we never get any visitors anymore, and it would be nice to have company. I've always wanted to learn these songs on piano. You follow Eleanor out onto the second floor landing of the grand foyer, gasping at the sight of the familiar room restored to its former glory. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Oh, whoops, I accidentally clicked that. Oops. I didn't grow up here. Well, not entirely. We left England when I was 15. Oh, does she have a slight accent then? That must have been hard. I certainly threw more than my fair share of tantrums, but I came to like it here, in my own way. Still, I would have liked to see England again before. Eleanor trails off, turning away from you to continue down the staircase. So she's like, I would have liked to see England before I died, you know. Well, let's not talk about that. So they basically, the way that she looks, that's what she looked like when she died. So she was also very young. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's not your fault. Just then you hear a sudden crash from somewhere downstairs. What was that? Eleanor looks pained for a moment, then her expression resolved into a tired smile. Nothing you need to worry about. Okay, if you say so. When can I meet the rest of the family? Very soon, but there's something you should know. What's that? Unlike myself, my siblings aren't aware that they're what? Dead. What? But how come you know? I'd rather not say. I'm sorry, Hannah. It's just too painful. Why haven't you told them? How can you ask such a thing? What do you mean? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be cross with you. I can't possibly imagine what it's like to live with the knowledge that you're not really living at all. Trust me, Hannah, ignorance is bliss. I wouldn't dream of taking that away from my siblings. You're welcome to stay, but don't say anything to the children. That would upset them. Don't talk about where you're from, or what the world is like beyond these walls. Just let the children be children, Hannah. That's all I ask. All right, Eleanor. I won't say anything. I promise. We'll need an explanation for who you are and why you're here. I know. I'll introduce you as their new governess. Do you have any experience as such? So I think governess means like nanny, basically. I don't know, like a babysitter. I did some babysitting in high school. Perfect. It won't be difficult, you see. You'll see. Simon's the only one who really needs watching. Clarissa and Thomas are old enough to look after themselves. Those are your other siblings? Yes, they're 14 and 12, respectively. Simon's only 8. They're all waiting in the parlor if you're ready to meet them. Although it would be better if you wore something else. What's wrong with what I'm wearing? Nothing at all. It's very pretty, but it's, well, anachronistic. Yeah, that word. Well, what am I supposed to wear? Let me see. You follow Eleanor back upstairs to another bedroom. She goes to the wardrobe and starts searching through dresses. I should have a dress that you can wear. We're about the same size, after all. She pulls out a dark purple gown with an elegant white collar and holds it up to you. This ought to fit you nicely. I'll give you some privacy while you try it on. Oh my goodness, it costs 25 gems? Yeah, we're gonna skip on that. Alright, Eleanor comes back to check on you, stopping short when she sees you're still in normal clothes. Why aren't you wearing the dress I found for you? I felt weird wearing it. Would it be okay if I just stuck with what I have on? I suppose we'll just have to say people dress like that where you're from. Thanks, Eleanor. Of course, are you ready to meet the children? Yeah, I think I am. Lead the way. Eleanor leads you back downstairs to the parlor, where the 3 younger Waverley siblings sit expectantly. You recognize Simon, the boy from the night before, and he averts his eyes sheepishly when you meet his gaze. Children, this is... We know who she is. She's just like Simon said she would be. Didn't I say her clothes were odd? Simon, don't be so rude. Thomas narrows his eyes suspiciously at you. They are odd, though. Who are you exactly? This is Hannah. She's your new governess, and I expect you to treat her with the utmost respect. Thomas looks outraged. Governess? I don't need a governess. I'm almost as old as she is. Besides, you already take care of us, Eleanor. Hey, aren't you going to give me a chance? Or don't worry, I'm not staying long. Oh, I'll just say, aren't you going to give me a chance? Maybe we'll be friends. You never know. Simon looks bashfully at the floor. I'm sorry, Miss Hannah. I'm not. I'm 12 years old. I can look after myself. Thomas, please forgive my brother's coarse manners, Hannah. I, for one, am very excited to have another lady to talk to. What does that make me? You're more like our mother. Oh. Eleanor sighs heavily. Wonderful. You can see why I need a break, Hannah. Oh, nonsense. This will be fun. Or, yeah, these kids look like a handful. We're not going to say that, especially in front of them. We'll say this will be fun. I can't wait to get to know you all better. I see I chose my assistant well. In any case, it's about time you 3 went to bed. Aw, Eleanor, can't we stay up just a little longer? Eleanor relaxes, their stern look giving way to a smile. I suppose that'd be all right, just this once, though. Hannah, would you help me fix the children some hot cider before bed? Of course. A short while later, you and Eleanor bring cups of hot cider out for the children. Yay! Thank you, Miss Hannah. Just Hannah is fine, Simon. You hand a cup of cider to Thomas. Thank you. What was that, a thank you I heard out of you, Thomas? What a rare treat. Humph. Eleanor, why do you never have cocoa in the evenings anymore like we used to? Eleanor turns her face away, her eyes suddenly sad. It's just been harder to get these days. Oh, that's too bad. I used to love when Mother and Father would let us stay up late and... Yes, well, let's not talk about them, shall we? Okay. Sorry, Eleanor. That's quite all right. Hannah, I can put the children to bed if you'd like to get some rest. I know you've had an eventful day. Sure. Okay, should I stay in the same room upstairs? Of course. I'll help you find your way back. Eleanor leads you out of the parlor and back into the foyer, her voice dropping to a whisper. There's one more thing I should tell you about Braidwood Manor. What's that? Whatever you think you hear, never leave your room after dark. Do you understand? What happens if I do? Yeah, she's probably not gonna answer us anyway, so I'm just gonna be obedient. I'm glad we understand each other. Yeah, me too. Good night, Hannah. Good night. A short while later, you tuck yourself in bed and lie in the dark, thinking hard. Am I losing my mind, or is all of this really happening? And how can I get Eleanor to tell me why she and her siblings are all trapped here? I suppose I'll have to earn her trust first. Better make sure not to break any of her rules. As you lie there in the darkness, you're suddenly startled out of your reverie by a notification on your phone. Huh? Oh, it's from Victor. Just wanted to check in. Still think you're crazy for staying up there by yourself. But I guess that's what makes you you, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Aw, that's sweet of him too. Just then you notice a curious sound beneath the howling of the wind outside. Is someone crying? You strain your ears and catch the sound again, a low, mournful wailing that seems to echo through the halls. Is that Eleanor? You get out of bed and hesitate before your bedroom door. Eleanor said not to leave my room after dark, but if someone's in trouble, what should I do? We're gonna look through the keyhole first. You kneel down to peer through the keyhole, seeing nothing but the empty hallway beyond. Looks like the coast is clear. And whoever's making that sound, it's only getting louder. That's it. I'm going out there. Despite what we literally just talked about with Eleanor, okay, you step out into the hall, shutting the door softly behind you. You follow the sound through the manor's twisted halls, down the stairs of the foyer and deeper into the house than you thought possible. Just how big is this place? Oh my goodness. As at last you come to a long hallway ending in a solitary door, a door covered in rusted locks and bound up in iron. What the? You draw close to the door's time-worn wood and hear sounds of weeping beyond. The noise starts to sound less like weeping and more like plaintive cries of a wounded beast. Whatever's making that sound is just past this door. Hello? Is anyone there? The sobs quiet, followed by a sick silence that feels like all the air's been sucked out of the room. The door suddenly starts shaking. Fire explodes from around the door frame. Oh no! You jump back, fingers slither up your arm and yank down on your wrist. Eee! Yeah, moving on to chapter 3. Lock and key is what it's called. What's behind the door of Braidwood Manor? As you stand facing the mysterious door deep in the manor of Braidwood Manor, deep in the heart of Braidwood Manor, you feel cold fingers gripping your arm. Ah! You whirl in a panic, shaking off your attacker. Get off of me! Sorry, Miss Hannah. Simon? You really have to stop scaring me like that. I didn't mean to. You take some rapid, calming breaths and regain your composure. I know, I just didn't expect that. What are you doing out of bed anyway? I'm thirsty. Simon, what's behind that door? Or did you hear a strange sound just now? I'm gonna see what Simon knows. Simon looks suddenly uneasy. I don't know, but Eleanor says to not go near it. And we're never, ever supposed to unlock it. Do you have a key? Simon pulls a burnished antique key out of his pocket and holds it out for you to see. Aw, it has a cute S on it for Simon. Simon's key. We all have one. You turn your attention back toward the door and notice that there are 4 locks keeping it shut. 4 keys for 4 locks, 1 for each of the Waverleys. I'll have to get my hands on all of them if I want to find out what Eleanor is hiding. We went from being like, okay, yeah, Eleanor, I won't do anything, to now I'm going to collect all the keys and I'm going to find out all of her secrets. Miss Hannah, why are you out of bed? I was just sleepwalking. Can you promise not to tell Eleanor about it? It'll be our little secret. Okay. Now, let's get you something to drink. Then it's back to bed. You put an arm around Simon's shoulder and lead him back out of the hallway, throwing one last look back at this locked door. I'll be back for you later, frickin' door. Frickin' evil fire door. Oh. It's just snowing lightly now. The following morning, you wake up in the guest room of the Braidwood Manor and get dressed for the day. Guess it wasn't all a dream. It sure wasn't. As you make your way downstairs, you bump into Eleanor on the 2nd floor landing. Good morning, Hannah. I was wondering if you'd ever get out of bed. What do you mean? What time is it? 10 o'clock or so? Oh, sorry. I should have been up to help with breakfast, huh? It would have been nice, but not necessary. Oh, okay. Is there anything I can do to make it up to you? There's nothing right now. Feel free to spend the morning as you see fit. The children would love to spend time with you, if you'd like. Somehow I don't think Thomas would agree. Or what if I want to spend the morning with you? Oh, Eleanor laughs, her eyes sparkling. Sorry about him. He's always been the brooding type. Maybe he'll grow out of it. Eleanor's smile falters, and you suddenly realize your mistake. Eleanor, I'm sorry, I didn't think. It's okay, Hannah. Really, it is. I know how strange this all must be for you. It's still strange for me sometimes. But I'm glad you're here with us. You give this place a new life. Thanks, Eleanor. I'm glad to be here. You continue downstairs and step into the parlor, where Simon sits on the floor, poring over a wooden framed case. Morning, Simon. What's that you got there? Good morning, Miss Hannah. Here, take a look. You lean over her shoulder and see what the case is full of glittering butterflies, jeweled beetles, and fuzzy moths, all affixed to the backing with tiny pins. Oh wow, is this your bug collection? Insect collection, and yes, it's mine. Did you catch all of these? All of the ones that are native to this region. Father brought the others home for me when he traveled. See this scorpion? She came all the way from Egypt. You must know a lot about bugs, huh? Sorry, Insects. I know everything about them. I've read almost all the books in our library. When I grow up, I want to be an entomologist. Wow, big word. Thanks. Do you like insects? Do I like insects? I think they're fascinating. Yeah. I'm not gonna say I don't mind them dead. What the heck? When I was your age, I spent hours watching ladybugs and roly-polies in my parents' garden. Why did you stop? I don't know. I guess I grew up. How sad. I hope that never happens to me. Simon. What? What's wrong? It's nothing. Never mind. Don't worry, Simon. Your wish is gonna come true. Yeah, no growing up for you, Simon. You'll be happy forever. Look, there was actually something I wanted to talk to you about. Is it about last night and the door? It is, and more importantly, that key you showed me. What about it? Do you think I could maybe borrow it? Simon looks uneasy, and his hand goes to the pocket where he keeps his key. I don't know, Hannah. Eleanor said not to unlock the door. Simon, I need to know what's behind the door, or I'm not going to unlock the door. I'll tell him the truth. That's rude. What if it's something scary? What if it's a ghost? Then I'll find a way to deal with it. Better than being afraid, right? Maybe, but still, Eleanor said. Look, Simon, I wish I could explain this better. All I can say is that it'll all make sense one day, I promise. Well, okay, I'll let you borrow my key. On one condition. What's that? Simon taps a blank space in a row of gray and brown moths. See this? This is where I'd put my Apteroptera brumata if I had one. Opera what? Apuro, yeah, brumata, also known as the winter moth. I've seen them flying around our house before, but only up in the attic. So what's the problem? Why don't you go up there and catch one? Because Simon looks at the floor, embarrassed, and mumbles something. What did you say? I'm scared of the attic. Aw, that's nothing to be ashamed of. Attics are scary. That's what makes them attics. But don't be afraid if you're not scared first, right? I mean, you won't be brave if you're not scared first. You're right. Yeah, then you're not being brave at all if you're not scared at first. Boom. What logic? I never heard that. I'm gonna use that in life. But I'd still like you to come with me, just in case. Every time I itch my nose, my head twitches, so that's what's happening when I itch my nose. A short while later, you and Simon stand in the upstairs hallway with a trapdoor in the ceiling, each of you carrying a butterfly net. You tug on the rope and the trapdoor opens. A ladder slides down from the opening along with a thick cloud of dust. Ack! When was the last time anyone's went up here? I don't know. There's just a bunch of old junk, so we usually don't bother. You climb up the ladder and emerge in the darkened attic. Then turn to pull Simon up behind you. He sticks close to you, his small hand curled tightly in yours. See, I told you it was scary. Yeah, this is stupid. Oh, don't worry, I'm here. We gotta comfort him. Thanks, Hannah. You peer through the gloom at the accumulated bric-a-brac, your eyes searching for any sign of movement. Out of curiosity, what does this moth look like? How will I... Shh! What? Simon points at the upturned chair at your right, where a dusty moth hangs by its legs, nearly blending with a wood grain. Oh. How did you spot that? sorry. You draw closer to the moth, raising your net slowly. Be stealthy. You carefully creep up on the moth and swing your butterfly net down with a thud. Gotcha! The moth goes into a panic, beating its wings against the mesh of the net, but it can't break free. You did it, Hannah. Now let's get out of here before I get scared again. As Simon starts to back down the ladder, you notice a dark shape in the shadowy recesses of the attic, and your blood runs cold. Who's there? Come on, Hannah, let's go. Shh, I think I see something. You step deeper into the attic, the wooden floorboards creaking beneath your feet. As you draw closer, the figure lurks out of the shadows at you. Ah! You stumble backward and fall hard against the floorboards. Hannah! Get off of me! You thrash on the floor as Jonathan's weight presses down on you. Your eyes shut tight. Hannah, it's just a mannequin. Huh? You open your eyes to find a mannequin wearing a velvet dinner jacket on top of you, its blank face inches from yours. Now we are hallucinating. Great. But I thought... Let's just go, okay? I could have sworn I saw my brother. Am I going crazy? You shove the mannequin off, and you take one last look at the darkened corner of the attic before following Simon down the ladder. A short while later, you and Simon return to the parlor, and you breathe a sigh of relief. Sorry I scared you, Simon. I didn't know what happened up there. It's okay. Told you the attic was a scary place. Yeah, let's just focus on your insect collection. I need to think about something else. Simon looks from the blank space of his collection to the moth in the butterfly net, frowning. What's wrong? Nothing, it's just... Father usually did this part. I don't know if I want to kill him. But if I don't, I'll have to let him go. This way, he'll always stay the same forever, and I'll never have to say goodbye. Oh my, so you should keep him means that he's going to kill him and he's going to put him in his collection. But saying you should let him go is going to free the moth, and then he said that he gets to keep him forever. So I think we're going to let him go. But my collection... Oh wait, he doesn't want that? Oh, I thought he said he wouldn't have to say goodbye if he didn't kill him, though. You don't have to kill insects to admire them, right? They're so much more interesting when they're alive. You're right. Let's let him go. Oh, good. Simon goes to the window and cracks it open just an inch, enough for the moth to flutter out into the wind. Oh, he's full on releasing it. Thanks for helping me, Hannah. I'm not afraid of the attic anymore. Well, not as much. It's a process. Now, do you think I can borrow that key? You hold out your hand and Simon drops the key onto your palm. Key 1 achieved! Huh? It's heavier than I expected. Thank you, Simon. You're welcome. You leave the parlor and search the manor for Clarissa, finding her in the dining room with a journal opened before her. Hannah, we missed you at breakfast. Did you sleep in? Yeah, I guess I was more tired than I thought. What are you working on? Oh, it's nothing. Come on, you can tell me. Are you writing a story? Clarissa blushes as you sit down beside her. Poetry, actually. It's for a boy. His name's Edmund. He works in the shop in town. Oh, I see. Do you have any, advice for getting him to notice me? I'm not an expert, but I know a little. Yeah, we're gonna say that. Oh, really? Well, there's this one guy. His name's Victor. Oh! Do you like him? I think so. It's just maybe not the best time. You know what I mean? Not at all. Life is short, Hannah. Why waste it wondering what could have been? Speak for yourself. Hey, at least I'm trying. I was thinking of sending Edmund a poem in the mail to tell him how I feel. I know it's a little bold, but I so love to write poetry. In that case, I think it's a wonderful idea. What do you have so far? That's just the problem. I can't seem to put my feelings into words. Everything comes out sounding stupid and childish. Maybe you should write about how he makes you feel when you see him. Well, I get very nervous and my heart starts to beat faster, and it becomes so difficult to get even the simplest words out, like he's stolen my voice or something. That sounds like a good place to start. You're right. How about this? You tend to shop, but are a thief, for you have stolen my voice from me. I like it. Keep going. The words don't come, and so I write. What's a good rhyme for right? Let me think. The words don't come, and so I write by the flickering candlelight, or I know I'll think of you tonight. I'll say by the flickering candlelight. But it's daytime. I'm not writing this by candlelight. So, candles are romantic. It doesn't have to be totally realistic. Okay. Let's change the rhyme scheme. For the last bit, how about when the sun burns out and the earth turns cold and all the flowers bow their heads, I'll think on things I left untold. Clarissa taps on her pen on the paper, trying to think of a rhyme. I'll think of what I left untold and all the words that went unsaid. Or, like, how much for a loaf of bread? What? That's great. You're so good at this, Hannah. Hardly. You're the poet here. I'm just helping. Let's see what you've got. Read it back to me. Clarissa holds the journal out in front of her and clears her throat. You tend to shop but are a thief, for you have stolen your voice from me. The words don't come, and so I write by the flickering candlelight. When the sun burns out and the earth turns cold and all the flowers bow their heads, I'll think of what I left untold and all the words that went unsaid. Oh my goodness, so what's next? Well, I'll either mail it or get nervous and throw it in the fire. Surely there's a middle ground here between mail and fire. I think you should send it. Even though he's kind of a couple hundred years dead. But, I don't know, Hannah. Suddenly, that sounds absolutely crazy. Don't you want him to know how you feel, though? Well, yes, but still, I'm scared. There's nothing to be scared of. Want me to put it in the mailbox? No, that's okay. I'll do it myself. Someday. Although, come to think of it, it feels like it's been forever since I even saw our mailman. Clarissa frowns, a faraway look in her eye. Well, I'm sure it just seems that way. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, I guess. Clarissa shakes her head and her unusual smile returns to her face. Thanks for helping me, Hannah. I wish I had some way to repay you. You might actually. You know those keys you and your siblings have? You know about those? I do, and I was wondering if I could borrow yours just for a day or two. I want to say yes, Hannah, really, but Eleanor told you not to. She was very emphatic about it. Clarissa, I think there's something weird going on at Braidwood Manor. Yeah. And I need those keys to find out what. Can you help me? I have noticed some strange noises at night, and Simon seems to think there's some kind of ghost or something in the house. I don't know what to make of any of this, but I'll help you. Clarissa pulls an antique key like Simon's from a pocket of her dress and pushes it across the table to you. Aw, there's a C for Clarissa now. Thank you, Clarissa. Look, if you're going to try to convince Thomas to give you his key, I should warn you. He's not exactly the generous type, and he certainly doesn't share my high opinion of you. Well, maybe I can change his mind. Very funny, Hannah. Just then, Eleanor steps into the dining room, and you quickly slip the key out of sight. Oh, hi, Eleanor. Eleanor narrows her eyes suspiciously. Someone looks guilty. What have you two been up to? Writing poetry. Hannah was helping me with the poem I'm working on. That's wonderful. I didn't know you were a poet, Hannah. Neither did I, actually. I suppose we all have our secrets. Hannah, would you come with me for a moment? Of course. Of course. You follow Eleanor out of the foyer and toward the manor's oak doors. Where are we going? Nowhere in particular. I just wanted to take a turn about the grounds and thought you might like to join me. Sure, that sounds fun. You walk alongside Eleanor down the front steps of Braidwood Manor, the snow falling gently around you. Wow, this is so beautiful out here. Eleanor looks up at the sky and nods. A snowflake lands in her hair and stays there, unmelting. Hannah, I'd like us to get to know one another better. My father always said that no friendship is truly sealed until you've shared a secret with each other. Perhaps we can do just that. What do you think? Aww. I say we should. I'll do it for the video. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it. I was hoping you'd say that. Come with me. You follow Eleanor across the grounds until you come to a frozen fountain. Eleanor sits on the rim and pats the spot beside her. Hannah, can you ask you a personal question? Of course. Your brother, what happened to him? You avert your eyes, your throat suddenly closing up. Sorry, if that was a terrible thing to ask. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I'm ready to talk about it. You look out across the white expanse of snow, your eyes prickling with hot tears. He died in a car crash. It was around Christmas, and he was home for the holidays. I was still in high school then. We were usually going to be at the same college this year. We were actually, I mean. He was driving back home after a holiday party, and he just went off the road. The same road he'd driven 1,000 times. What was different this time? You fall silent, and Eleanor looks abashed. I'm sorry, Hannah. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I know what it's like to lose loved ones. There's nothing harder. You nod, blinking back tears. Eleanor lays her hand on top of yours and smiles sadly. But at least you have your health, right? You laugh in spite of yourself. You have a funny way of looking at things. Being dead will do that to you. Eleanor, don't look so gloomy. I was just trying to lighten the mood. Speaking of which, I suppose it's my turn to share a secret. This should be good. I can't imagine what sort of secrets a ghost might have. I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. It's rather embarrassing, actually. Eleanor looks down, her fingers fidgeting with the end of her braid. You see, I've never been kissed before. That's your big frickin' secret? Speak for yourself, woman. Disappointed. Oh, we're just gonna say I think that's adorable. We're going with the, what's his name? I freaking forgot his name. Victor! Victor! We're going with Victor's story. I freaking bought stuff for him already. I think it's adorable. I suppose I can live with that. I mean, that's cute. You stand up from the fountain and rub your hands together for warmth. So, where to next? Eleanor shakes her head, her expression clearing. Oh, right, there was something I wanted to show you. You follow Eleanor across the grounds of Braidwood Manor and pass under a canopy of twisted branches. Where are we going? You'll see. It's not far now. You come to the graveyard at the edge of the woods. Overheard, a lone raven peers down its beak at you, or whatever. What is this place, Eleanor? This is the family plot, Hannah, where my siblings and I are buried. Oh my. But why are we here? I come here sometimes to be alone. There's something oddly comforting about it. It's bittersweet, I suppose, to know that my siblings and I are down there under the earth where no one can hurt us again. I know, it's odd, but it makes me feel safe somehow. After what happened to you, I can see how this could be comforting. Yeah. I knew you'd understand. That's why I wanted to share this place with you. You walk slowly through the small cemetery, reading each of the headstones in turn. Don't the children ever come here? How can they not know that they're dead when this is just outside of their door? I've forbidden them from going too far beyond the manor. And they obey you? For the most part, I once caught Simon looking for dragonflies by the pond, but otherwise they're very well behaved. If any of them were to find this place, I'm not sure what I would do. You come to two headstones close together with the names William and Rose. Are those your parents? Your father's date of death is 5 years after the rest of yours. Yes, he was the one who found us. It destroyed him. He left for Northbridge and eventually drank himself to death. They brought him home for the burial. I'm so sorry, Eleanor. It's quite all right. He was a wonderful father when I was still alive. I'll always have these memories of him. And your mother? Oh! Eleanor's expression goes suddenly cold, and she turns to leave, her thick braids swinging behind her. Don't bother mourning her. That grave is empty. What? Eleanor strides off to the woods, leaving you standing alone in the cemetery. Eleanor, wait! If Eleanor's mother died the same day as her children, where's the body? And where is her ghost now? Wow! What an ending to that chapter. Well, if you see up here, it says free key in 2 hours and 10 minutes. Otherwise, you can buy the keys. So after I do that stream, I am going to come back and continue reading. But you guys will just see this next chapter in a second, so enjoy. Okay, teleporting to 2 hours later, Zetta. Okay. Hello. It is a completely different day. It is not the same night, but, you know, I'm recording it. I'm trying to get things done. But yeah, we are on chapter 4 now. Behind closed doors. Only 2 keys remain, but getting them won't be easy. What? Oh, it's so loud. As Eleanor strikes off for the manor, you hurry to follow her across the snow. Eleanor, wait! Why is your mother's grave empty? What does that mean? That doesn't matter. It's just leave me alone. It was a mistake to bring you out here. Eleanor, please, I just want to help. Eleanor whirls on you, her fists clenched at her sides. I don't want your help, okay? Why can't you understand? Eleanor. She hangs her head, and a silence passes between you. I'm sorry, Hannah. There are some secrets I'm just not ready to share that I'll never be ready to share. You, of all people, should know how that feels. Eleanor turns to leave again, but you catch her arm before she can go. Maybe I haven't told you everything, but it's not too late to start. But you don't get to use that against me. But it's not too late to start. We each have our own pain, Eleanor. It might help to share it. You think you know pain, Hannah, but you don't. Not like this. Eleanor slips loose from your grasp and strides up the steps of Braidwood Manor without a second glance, leaving you alone in the cold. I don't know what secret Eleanor is keeping hidden behind that locked door, but it's tearing her apart. I need to collect those keys, for her sake as much as my own. You shut the manor's doors against the biting cold and step into the foyer, finding no sign of Eleanor. Just then, Simon and Clarissa come hurtling down the stairs, their faces stricken. Hannah, there you are! What did you say to Eleanor? Why? Where is she? She went straight up to her room and locked the door, and she didn't look happy. Seems like locked doors are becoming a theme for her. Oh. Hannah, that's not funny. Whatever you said must have really hurt her feelings. I wasn't trying to be funny. It's just, don't you two ever wonder why Eleanor has so many rules? So many secrets? Well, sort of. She never let us wander very far from the house. Or leave our rooms after dark. Or ask any questions about mother and father, or why we never see any of our relatives, or... All right, Simon, that's enough. We see what you're getting at, Hannah. Good. That's why then you see why I need to get Thomas's key. I need to find out what's behind that door. But even if you convince Thomas, which you won't, you'll still need to get Eleanor's key somehow. I'll worry about that later. Have either of you seen Thomas? No, but I hear him. He must be practicing piano in the parlor. Not a good time to disturb him. He's not very talkative at the best of times, but when he's practicing. Once I asked him to play with me when he was at the piano, and he shut me in the pantry for 5 whole minutes. Oh, poor Simon. I nearly starved to death. Well, that's a risk I'm willing to take. Oh. Leaving Clarissa and Simon in the foyer, you enter the parlor to find Thomas playing a lovely melody on the piano. This melody right here, I gotta write it down because I love it. You stand quietly in the corner, waiting for him to finish. Then he hits a wrong chord, the discordant notes jarring him out of the piece. Darn it! Stupid song! I'll never learn it. You awkwardly clear your throat, and Thomas turns around on the bench to face you. What do you want? Hello to you too. What exactly is your problem? Or I'm just gonna ask, what song is that? What does it matter? I'll never be able to play it anyway. Oh, my hair is kind of, okay, just ignore that. Why not? Because it's a duet, and the other person in this family who can play worth a darn went off to war years ago. Your father? Thomas turns back towards the piano, his shoulders slumped. Yes, I mean my father. We were learning this piece when he left, and he hasn't come back. You sit beside Thomas on the bench, and he flinches away from you. What are you doing? I'm going to play the other part, Thomas. I know I'm not your father, and I probably can't play as well. Ignore that notification. But at least you'll be ready for him when he comes home. Thomas glares suspiciously at you. What is this about? What do you want from me? If you want me to talk about my feelings, you can forget it. We're not friends. We're not going to be friends. Then we won't have to talk. We can just play. You turn to face the sheet music, and out of the corner of your eye, you see Thomas do the same. Humph. Okay, then the chords you need to play are C minor, G minor, and A flat in that order. Let's take it from the top. I'm going to play a C minor. Perfect. Now you just gotta keep playing those cards, and I'll come in with my part. I want to learn the song so freaking bad. Like, I'm going to take so much time someday just listening to it and play it someday. Soon, you and Thomas are playing the Do It Perfectly, Thomas hitting every note of the melody while you're providing the harmony. Finally! Sounds pretty good, huh? You finish the piece and Thomas closes the lid on the keyboard. Still in a bad mood? No, not so much. I suppose I should say thank you. I think that would be appropriate. But if you really want to thank me, there's something I need your help with. Now the truth comes out. Of course you had an ulterior motive. Thomas, I'm sorry I lied to you. Yeah, we'll say that. That's the nicer option. I just didn't know what else to get you to agree to help. I really did enjoy helping you practice, though. Well, at least now I'll be able to play this song properly with Father when he comes home. And that's all thanks to you, so if you want my help, you've got it. That's great to hear, Thomas, because I really need to borrow your key. I need to know what Eleanor is hiding behind that locked door. Why didn't you just say so? I've been wanting to know the same for I don't know how long. Really? Of course. You think I haven't noticed how much Eleanor isn't telling us? As far as I can remember, that door doesn't even lead anywhere special. It just goes to the cellar. The cellar? Really? Yeah, last time I checked, there's nothing down there but the furnace. The furnace? That might explain the fire, or you don't think there's something more? There could be something more. Eleanor must have a reason to keep it locked up, and the other night, I could have sworn I saw... Never mind. It doesn't matter. When was the last time you were actually in the cellar? Thomas looked suddenly frustrated, his brows furrowed in concentration. That must have been a long time ago, but it couldn't have been that long ago. I can't seem to remember. Why can't I remember? I don't know, Thomas. I'm sorry. All I can say is, if you help me, we can find out the truth together. Thomas pulls a key from inside his vest and hands it to you. Here, take it. Ooh, T for Thomas. Achieved! Thank you, Thomas. I promise this will all make sense. When? Soon, I hope. Just then, you hear a sudden crash as the parlor door swings open and Simon and Clarissa tumble into the floor. Simon? Clarissa? What are you two doing? Don't tell me you were listening at the keyhole. That is certainly not what we were doing. We were just testing the door. It works. Someone really needs to teach you how to lie better, Simon. So, how long were you two eavesdropping? Yeah, we'll say that. Not for very long. Just long enough to hear that you convinced Thomas, of all people, to hand over his key. I'm impressed. Not all that's left. Now all that's left is Eleanor. Easy to just grab Eleanor's key. Good luck with that. Eleanor keeps that key with her at all times, and she'd never just hand it over. If you want to get your hands on it, you're going to have to steal it. You move to the parlor window and stare out at the crisp field of snow beyond. I don't think I could just take it off her without her noticing, but maybe Simon could if the rest of us kept her distracted. But I'd feel guilty asking him to do that for me. Then again, I could always take it from her in her sleep. Ask Simon to steal it or spend the night. Okay, we're gonna spend the gems for the video. Yay! You turn from the window to face the Waverleys. I know what I'm going to do. I can't tell you what exactly, but if you just leave this to me, I'll have that door open by tomorrow morning. Why can't you tell us? It's complicated, but it'll work, I think. Great, that's reassuring. Just promise us this. Whatever you find out, you three will be the first to know, I promise. I don't know what Eleanor's hiding, but whatever it is, some secrets are too big for just one person. Wish me luck. You leave Clarissa, Thomas, and Simon in the parlor and wander the manor in search of Eleanor. As you cross the foyer, you look up to see Eleanor peering from the second-floor landing. There you are. Can we talk? I don't think I'm ready to talk to you, Hannah. Eleanor disappears from view, and you hurry up the stairs to keep up with her. Eleanor, wait, please. I'm sorry for pressuring you earlier. I didn't mean to make you upset. Eleanor turns at the end of the hall, looking reproachful. I know you didn't mean to, Hannah, but you did. I'm not just some mystery for you to solve. I have feelings, you know? Feelings? For me? What? You take a step closer and Eleanor looks weary. I didn't say that. You take Eleanor's hand in yours and look her in the eye. Eleanor, I know you're more than just your secrets, and that's the part of you I want to know more about. Just come sit with me for a while, and we can talk about anything you like. So you won't ask me any more of your difficult questions? You're incorrigible, whatever that fancy word means. You take Eleanor by the hand and lead her to your bedroom, shutting the door softly behind you. Eleanor stands awkwardly in the center of the room at a loss. Do you want to sit down? Yes, of course. Sorry, I suppose I'm a bit nervous. You sit down on the edge of your bed, and Eleanor sits down beside you, her hands either side of her. So, let's talk. Oh, I can't think of anything I want to talk about. Really? I thought you'd had loads of questions. Are you curious about my world? I suppose I wouldn't mind hearing about it. I'll tell you about my family. To be honest, I had a very privileged childhood. My family was upper middle class, and I had a good education. But things at home weren't always great. My parents were so focused on Jonathan and all his achievements, they hardly seemed to care about me. Obviously, they took it pretty hard when he passed away. I used to hate them for caring so little about me, but now I have to feel sorry for them. I'm sorry, Hannah. It's so difficult to know how to feel sometimes. You smile at Eleanor and let your hand brush up against hers on the bed. Not right now, it's not. You stroke Eleanor's hair absentmindedly, fretting over what you have to do next. I hate lying to her, but this might be the only way to help her. Maybe one day she'll understand. Just then, you're startled by a sudden ringing. Crap, my phone! It's Victor. Maybe if I whisper, Eleanor won't wake up. You accept the call and raise the phone to your ear, keeping a careful eye on Eleanor. Hannah, are you okay? How come I haven't heard from you? Victor, whispered to the phone. Hello, Victor, it's Hannah. I can't hear you. There's a ton of white noise or something. Maybe the weather causing problems. Look, if you can hear me out there, I'm getting worried about you. I'm going to drive up tonight to get you. I know you said not to come until you called, but I haven't heard anything from you. You shouldn't be alone up there, Hannah. Just wait for me. I'll be there in a few hours. You exhale as the line goes dead, your pulse racing. This just got a lot more urgent. Taking care not to wake Eleanor, you slip a hand inside her dress pocket and close it around a smooth metal key. Got it. You slowly withdraw your hand from Eleanor's dress, watching her face for any sign of detection. Her brows knit in sudden irritation, and you freeze. You freeze and quickly realize your mistake as Eleanor turns over in her sleep, trapping your hand under her hip. Crap! Oh, I thought if I moved my hand, she would wake up. You carefully slip your hand out of Eleanor's dress out from under her, your heartbeat nearly audible in the quiet room. That was way too close. You open your hand and look down at the brass keys sitting down in your palm. E for Eleanor! Tiptoeing to the door, you take a last look at Eleanor's sleeping form and feel a pang of regret. I'm sorry, Eleanor. Please don't hate me. Oh, it's getting real. We have all 4 keys, guys. We have all 4 keys. With all 4 keys in your possession, you stand before the locked door, the shadows pulling around you in the dark hallway. I don't know what I'm about to uncover, but there's no way it's anything good. I just hope I'm doing the right thing. You insert the first key into the first lock and it opens with a soft click. One by one, the locks fall away until none remain. The door remains still and silent, and no trace of the sound and fire of the previous night. All right, Eleanor, let's see what you're hiding. The door swings open, and you find yourself at the top of the flight of stone steps leading into the cellar. Across the room, the embers flare in a squat iron furnace, filling the cellar with an angry red light. Thomas was right. It really is just a cellar. So why did Eleanor want it locked up? What was she so afraid of? Just then, you hear a grating screech as the furnace door swings open on rusted hinges. Yay! Okay, what the? Then you hear it. The weeping from the night before, a muffled, hysterical sobbing that seems to come from deep within the furnace itself. A skeletal hand emerges from the red throat of the furnace, its bony fingertips scrabbling on the cellar's stone floor. Oh my gosh! A hideous skull with long, stringy hair comes next, and then another hand, until finally the horror pulls itself free of the furnace. Where are my children? We are going on to chapter 15 now. It's called Secrets. You finally found out what lies beyond the locked door. But will you live to tell the tale? Flames dance on the cellar walls as you stare into the glowing eyes of the phantom advancing at you. Move aside, girl. I must see my children. It's been so long since I've held them in my arms. I won't let you hurt them, so stay away from them. Hurt them? I could never do such a thing. You, on the other hand... The spectator moves impossibly fast, her skeletal hands lacking your head in a vise-like grip, her fingers digging into your temples. Gah! Your vision starts to blur as the pressure releases, the blood pounding in your head, your jaw clenching against the pain. Ugh! Help! Someone! Silence, child. It'll all be over soon. You feel yourself fading as she squeezes harder, your hands groping uselessly at the phantom's wrists. Summoning your last ounce of strength, you manage to eke out a final plea. Stop. Violet, Petunia, Rose? Rose? Are you Rose? Rose! That name, I nearly forgotten. Rose's grip falters for a mere second, just long enough for you to slip out of her clutches. You turn and run, not even pausing to look over your shoulder, scraping your knees on the rough steps in your hurry to escape the cellar. You spill out of the cellar into the hall, slamming the door behind you and hurrying to lock it once more. Why did there have to be 4 keys? Eleanor's key. You fumble with the first key, your hands shaking uncontrollably. Come on, come on! The door bursts open, knocking you onto the floor and sending the keys flying out of your hand. No! Do you think you'd just lock me away and forget me for another 100 years? Rose Waverly looms over you, her clawing hands reaching down to choke the life out from you. You're just like that wicked daughter of mine. No, please! Just then, there's a sudden flash of red, and Eleanor stands over you, wrenching her mother's hands away from your throat. What have you done, Hannah? Eleanor, I'm so sorry. Rose's skull face splits in a hideous grin, a dry, rattling laugh echoing from her dusty throat. Hello, daughter. Eleanor grits her teeth, her eyes flashing with anger as she fights to keep her mother at bay. You don't get to call me that, not after what you did. Eleanor, she's too strong. We have to run. You grab Eleanor's arm and run with her, losing yourselves in the labyrinth walls of Braidwood Manor. What was that, Eleanor? Why was your mother down there? And what happened to her? That's none of your business, Hannah. I told you to stay out of it. Why couldn't you just listen? Because I want to help you. Eleanor glares at you over her shoulder, and you feel the intensity of anger like a stab of ice. You can't help me, Hannah. I want you gone from here, and I want you to never come back. Eleanor, I can't just leave you. I care about you too much, while you're in danger. Well, we'll say we care about you too much. You have to forget about me, Hannah. I'm sorry. Now please, go. Eleanor presses hard against your chest, and an inexorable force sends you flying backwards through the halls until you crash through the manor's heavy front doors. They snap shut after you, leaving you alone in a crumbled heap on the steps of Braidwood Manor with no way back in. Eleanor, please! As you get to your feet, the snow around you starts to fall faster, the wind howling in the sudden gale. You raise an arm to shield your eyes against the growing storm, and everything goes black. You wake suddenly to a loud click and find yourself in the passenger seat of Victor's car. What? Victor looks up from fastening your seatbelt. A look of intense relief washes over his face. Hannah, thank God you're okay. Victor, we're gonna smooch. You pull Victor close and press your lips against his. He kisses you back and then suddenly pulls away. Hannah, I really want to kiss you right now, but making sure you're safe is my top priority. You just sit tight. I'm getting you out of here, don't worry. No, Victor, I have to stay. What? Why? What are you talking about? We're not living in life of luxury. No, Victor, it's real. It's all real. What's real? The Waverleys, the ghosts, this house? You saw them? I lived with them, Victor. I was supposed to protect them. Fresh tears sting your eyes as Victor puts an uncertain hand on yours. His eyes are sympathetic, but disbelieving. Look, Hannah, I don't know what you think happened in there, but I found you, lying in the snow, half frozen. I think you're still in shock. We need to get you to a hospital. I am not shocked. It all really happened. I'm not making this up, or imagining things, or anything. If only there was some way to prove it all happened. Then you feel something in your pocket and reach down to pull it out. This proves it. One of Simon's tin soldiers. It really happened. What is that? Proof, Victor. Any toys in the manor would have been worn down by time, right? But this one looks like it could have been made yesterday. Exactly. This belonged to Simon, the youngest of the Waverley siblings. The same Waverleys that you told me about when we drove up here? Yes, Victor. They're still there. Here. All of them. And they need my help. Help? How? You came here looking for your own answers. To try to explain whatever happened with your brother that you've been keeping a secret. Victor, that's it. It is? You pop open the passenger side door and step back out into the cold. Victor follows you out into the snowstorm, now howling across the grounds, hurrying after you as you stride determinedly toward the manor. Hannah, where are you going? I am going back in there, Victor. I know how to save them. What are you talking about? Save them from what? Eleanor's been keeping a secret from her siblings for years. She won't tell them that they all died long ago, but more importantly, she won't tell them how they died. As you stand once more before the doors of Braidwood Manor, Victor catches up to you, turning you to face him. Hannah, I still don't quite understand what happened to you in there. I don't know what to make of this, but if you believe it, then I believe it, and I want to help. I'm sticking with you until the very end, Hannah, whatever that might bring. That's expensive, but we're gonna do it for the story. Then it's decided. I'm coming with you. Whatever you've gotten yourself caught up in, we'll finish together. You look up into Victor's eyes and feel a warm glow in your chest despite the biting cold. Before we can go back in there, I just wanted to say, I'm lucky to be your friend. Oh, friend zoned. I did not buy this just for a friend zone. I love you. Victor smiles and leans down to kiss you, placing his hands in your waist to pull you closer. You lean in to the kiss, then pull away, grinning. So, is this an I love you kiss? I mean, a love you type of kiss or what? It might be, but then again. You roll your eyes and cut him off with the oh, and laying your hand alongside his jaw to pull his face down to yours. How about now? That was wow! And in case you couldn't tell, I love you too, Hannah. Now, let's go save some ghosts. Follow me. You and Victor push through the doors and step into the foyer of Braidwood Manor. You look around to find it returned to its present-day condition, with broken furniture scattered around the room and dust everywhere. You said you lived here? I don't understand, Hannah. It didn't look this way, okay? There's another manor, or another world, or something. What? Look, I know it sounds crazy, but I don't know how to explain it. I need Eleanor to let me back in. Eleanor, please let me come back. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. I'm sorry for everything. There's no reply, only the sound of your pleas echoing through the manor. Hannah, are you sure you... Yes, I'm sure. Just give me a second. Eleanor, if you can hear me, I think I know how to stop this. I think I know how I can save your siblings. Hannah, I'm sorry, but I just don't think it's going to... At last, the walls around you start to shift. Broken chairs are made whole again, and the fallen chandelier floats back up to the rafters into a glittering jellyfish. Oh my gosh. Now do you believe me? Yes. Looking around, you find no sign of the Waverleys, and you find yourself starting to get nervous. Where are they? I hope they aren't hurt. Just then, the door to the parlor opens a crack, and you see Eleanor inside, beckoning you to come join her. Hurry, Hannah, in here! Was that... You grab Victor's hand and start to pull him across the foyer toward the parlor door. Yes, it was. Now come on. As the words leave your mouth, you heard a dry, rasping voice that sends shivers down your spine. Hannah, it's so nice of you to return. The ghost of Mrs. Waverly glides down the stairs, the scorching hem of her dress trailing behind her. I look forward to finishing our little game. What is that thing? I'll explain later. Just run! You and Victor sprint across the foyer, but Mrs. Waverly is too fast. She streaks towards the center of the room like a fury comet, blocking your path. Leave my children alone! Rose grips you with a clawed hand, and you feel your skin blistering at her touch. Ah! We're gonna fight back. Get off of me! You lash out at the phantom, clocking her in the jaw and making her release her grip on you. Holy crap, did you just punch the ghost? Maybe, yes, who cares, let's just get out of here. You grab Victor's arm, taking advantage of Rose's distraction to dash across the foyer and into the something. Eleanor slams the door shut behind you. Are we safe here? We're not safe anywhere, Hannah. Not with her roaming the halls. Eleanor, who is that woman? She said that she said she's our mother. What aren't you telling us? I wouldn't mind an explanation myself. Who are you, anyway? Sorry, Eleanor, this is my friend Victor. He wants to help. I'm afraid we're beyond help. I just want to protect the children. But I've only succeeded in dooming us all. What do you mean, Eleanor? What does that woman, our mother, want with us? What were you protecting us from? I can't tell you, darling. I just can't. The parlor door shudders as something slams against it, the wooding splintering at the hinges. Leave us alone, you monster! Haven't you already done enough? As the door starts to give, you take Eleanor's hand in yours, staring her into her eyes with a fierce determination. Eleanor, we both held on to our secrets too long. We can't go on like this any longer. But I just can't. Hannah, don't you understand? I know it's hard, Eleanor, but you have to tell them. You have to tell them everything. These secrets are what's keeping you all trapped here. This is the only way to set your siblings free. Eleanor looks down, her eyes filling with tears as her mother rages outside the door. I can't do it, Hannah. You have to, or it'll be this way forever. You take a deep breath, steeling yourself for what you're about to say. If it'll make things easier, I'll tell my greatest secret, the one I've never told anyone, the one that's kept my brother trapped between worlds all this time. This is getting so intense now. We are on the last chapter, guys. And as you can see, I have to wait another 2 hours and 22 minutes until I can play the next chapter. So I'm going to do one last time warp. And I am back. It has been more than 2 hours. But yeah, we are going to continue on the last and final chapter, Chapter 6, Confessions. You're close to solving the mystery of Braidwood Manor. All you have to do is survive. You and Eleanor stand facing each other across the parlor, the rest of the Waverleys looking in awe. Hannah, are you sure you want to do this? You've never talked much about your brother's death before. That's exactly the problem. My secrets kept him stranded, unable to pass on. Hannah, you never told us you had a brother. What happened to him? And what exactly do you mean by unable to pass on? Well, Eleanor, should I tell them? Eleanor hangs her head, her eyes downcast. Share your secret, Hannah. I'll try to do the same. It's about to go down, guys! Thank you, Eleanor. You take a deep breath, fighting back the tears forming in your eyes. A year ago, my brother was home from college for the holidays. He went to a party with some friends, and when he drove back that night, he went off the road, missed the turn, and shot straight off the lip of the ravine. That's awful. I'm sorry, Hannah. Thank you, Thomas, but it gets worse. My parents and I were called out to identify the body. I've never cried so hard in my life. I was still crying when I got home and found his letter. You never mentioned a letter before. I know. You move to the window and look out across the moonlit snow, the frost forming crystalline patterns on the glass. It wasn't an accident. Jonathan left the house that day. He knew he wouldn't come home. My brother wanted to die, and I had no idea. I failed him, and even worse, I lied to cover it up. What do you mean? How did you cover it up? I destroyed the letter. I never told our parents or his friends or anyone. You turn around, your eyes finding Eleanor's. She looks back at you, her face stricken. Hannah, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. So both of these girls here are keeping a secret from everybody. Neither did I. My brother's ghost called me a liar before, and I didn't want to admit it, but that's what I am. I've been lying to everyone in my life since the day he died. But that ends today. Jonathan, if you hear this, I'm sorry. I told myself I was protecting your memory, but the truth is, I couldn't face telling our parents, or I wasn't ready to forgive you. I'm gonna say I couldn't face telling our parents. You listen for any sign of your brother and hear nothing but silence. Hold on a second. When did it get this quiet? Just then, the door of the parlor explodes inwards, and a roar of flame ripping through the room. Ah, she's back! Ah! Get back, all of you! Mrs. Waverly looms in the wreckage of the doorway, her eyes glowing with hatred and the wasted skin around her teeth pulled back into a sneer. Why have you shut me out again, Eleanor? Afraid to tell your siblings the truth? What is she talking about, Eleanor? Please, just tell us. Before Eleanor can reply, the ghost of Mrs. Waverly crosses the room in a streak of red-hot flame, lunging for her daughter's throat. No! Suddenly, a figure appears between Rose and Eleanor. Jonathan! Jonathan grits his teeth, one hand clenched around Mrs. Waverly's outstretched arm, and he shifts his gaze onto you. Hello, sister. Oh my gosh. Jonathan, I'm so sorry. I should have never, I should have known that you couldn't have known. Don't blame yourself. By telling my story, you've set me free. But before I go, maybe I can do one good thing after all. Release me, you pathetic creature! Jonathan winces at Rose, claws at his face, leaving deep, dark gouges in his blistered skin. You won't keep me from my children? I can't hold on much longer, Hannah. You have to end this now. Eleanor, it's time. You have to tell them. You have to tell them everything. I don't know if I can, Hannah. You can, okay? You can! Eleanor's lip trembles for a moment, then a look of freely resolve comes over her face. Very well. She reaches up to the black band of fabric around her neck and undoes a clasp at the back, letting it fall aside. Oh! She's letting it show. No! Eleanor, what happened to you? I'm sorry, darling, but she did this. Our mother. Silence, you little... She murdered us. All of us. I'm so sorry I have to tell you like this, but she poisoned the three of you, and when I found out, she did this. So we're dead. Mrs. Waverly howls in pain as her body erupts in a column of flame, waves of heat rolling off her as she rages against Jonathan's grip. She stole so much from us. I mean, you stole so much from us, Mother, all because you were so afraid of everything. Rose screams as her bones turn to ash and begin to flake away, her ribcage collapsing inwards as the fire consumes her. I was protecting you! The world outside these walls is too dangerous. I couldn't risk losing you like I lost your father. You didn't lose him, you fool! He survived the war. He was the one who found us. What? Before she can say another word, Mrs. Waverly falters and collapses to the ground, her flame finally gone out. William, forgive me. He's gone, Mother, and where we're gone, you'll never see him again. The bones shatter into the dust as they hit the floor. It's finally over. Eleanor stumbles backwards and falls onto the sofa behind her, gripping the arm for support. Her hands fumble at her throat as she reattaches the black band, a faraway look in her eyes. Eleanor, what are we? Are we ghosts? Eleanor pulls Simon into her lap and kisses the top of his head. Yes, Simon, I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Eleanor looks up at Clarissa and Thomas. I know how angry with me you must be. I should have told you ages ago. I just couldn't bear to hurt you like that. Clarissa and Thomas sit across the room to sit beside Eleanor. We understand, Eleanor. If I had been in your place, I can't imagine how difficult this has been for you. Eleanor's eyes fill with tears, and she pulls her siblings into a tight hug. Victor places his hand on your shoulder. I think you have family of your own to talk to, Hannah. You turn away from the Waverleys to see Jonathan watching, a strange look in his eye. Jonathan nods slowly, seeming not to hear you. Jonathan? Jonathan tears his eyes away from Eleanor and her siblings and faces you. I was just thinking back on how things used to be. After everything these kids went through, the fact that they still love each other, it makes me ashamed. Jonathan, why didn't you tell me you were feeling so hopeless? I guess I didn't know how, and I convinced myself that no one would have cared anyway. I would have. I know that now. Still, thanks to you, I'll finally be able to find peace. I wish you didn't have to go, but I'm glad I got a proper goodbye this time. Me too, sis. He's going into the light! Jonathan starts to fade away before your eyes, enveloped by a gentle white light. Goodbye, Jonathan. I love you! I love you too, Hannah. You turn back to the Waverleys, and Eleanor smiles sadly at you. Are you okay, Hannah? Yeah, I think so. You? I think so. Let's step into the foyer for a moment. It seems we have a lot to talk about. Yeah, I'd say so. I'll be right back, Victor. Sure thing. As you and Eleanor walk out to the foyer, Victor turns to the Waverly children. So, how's it going? So. It feels good to finally find the truth, tell the truth. I feel like a huge weight's been taken off of me. As do I. I want to thank you, Hannah, for everything you've done for us. If you hadn't come along, who knows how long I would have waited to tell my siblings the truth. So, you're not mad that I took your key while you were sleeping? I was wondering how you did that. No, I'm not mad. If you hadn't, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But I guess it does make me a little worried that your feelings weren't genuine. My feelings were genuine. I didn't want to deceive you like that, but I only did that to help you, because I care about you so much. I was hoping you'd say that. I feel the same way. Eleanor, I hope this isn't crossing the line, but there's still so much I don't understand about what happened to you and your siblings. I don't like to think about it, but I'll answer one more question. There's just one thing I want to know. What's the one thing? That's why her body wasn't found, because she killed herself in the furnace. I think I'm going to have Eleanor explain more why she did it, though. Eleanor looks away, her expression pained. My mother was not well, Hannah. She was afraid of everything. After my father went off to war, her condition worsened drastically. She convinced herself that father would die in the fighting and never come back home, and she stopped letting us outside for fear we'd get hurt. I think she thought she was guaranteeing our safety somehow by making sure we could never leave her side. Eleanor, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have. No, it's all right. I can't blame you for wondering, but I'd rather call this over once and for all. So yeah, her mother was kind of a cuckoo in the brain. You and Eleanor returned to the parlor to find the Waverly children interrogating Victor about the modern world. Have there been any scientific advance in the field of entomology? Forget bugs. What's the most popular 10-penny romance? What? Victor shoots you and Eleanor a grateful look. Please rescue me. Children, leave this poor young man alone. So what happens now, Eleanor? Is it time for us to go? I'm afraid so, Clarissa, but it's not so bad, is it? At least we'll be together. And maybe we'll see Father. Exactly, there's nothing to be afraid of. Eleanor gathers her siblings around her and holds them close. Just close your eyes and let yourself fall away. I'm right here. Goodbye, Hannah. Thank you for everything. We'll miss you, even Thomas. I suppose I am a little sorry to say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. I hope we see each other again someday, or I'm so glad. Yeah, someday we'll see each other. The Waverly children close their eyes, holding tight to Eleanor, and the room fills with a soft white light. You feel a tear roll down your cheek as the light grows brighter still, until it's so bright you have to close your eyes. When you open your eyes, you and Victor are left alone in the room with Eleanor. I can't believe this is happening. Eleanor chokes back a sob, her eyes suddenly bright, and you cross the room to pull her into a hug. It's okay. I wish it didn't have to be like this. We had our whole lives ahead of us. You pat Eleanor's back as she cries into your shoulder, then pull back to face her. You pull Eleanor closer and hold her tight. Goodbye, Hannah. The room slowly fills with the same bright white light, and you start to feel Eleanor's body growing warmer in your arms. You feel a strange floating sensation and open your eyes. Eleanor! You and Eleanor float above the parlor floor, surrounded by an intense light. Eleanor blinks at you, her eyes wide. Hannah, I feel different. Eleanor feels under her collar, and her eyes go wider still. My scar, it's gone. What does that mean? Eleanor suddenly gasps and presses your hand to her chest. What are you? Oh! You feel Eleanor's heart beating beneath your hand, and she smiles at you. How is this possible? I don't know, but isn't it amazing? I feel like I've been given a second chance, like there are two paths open for me. Do you think I should stay here in your world? Oh, but okay. Think about all of her poor siblings, though. Like, they all go away, and then they're like, wait, where is she at? And they have to wait like another 80 years for her or whatever. Yeah, I think you should see what comes next. Perhaps that would be for the best. Goodbye, Hannah. Goodbye, Eleanor. When you open your eyes, you're standing on the parlor floor, the bright light gone from the room. Wow, that was... I know. Do you want to talk about it? You two seemed pretty close. No, I'm okay. Right now, I want to get back to, our world. Right behind you. You step outside to find the storm subside and breathe a sigh of relief. Well, that was certainly an adventure. I'm sorry I doubted you, Hannah. You'd better be. You open the passenger side door of Victor's car and take one last look at Braidwood Manor, a slight smile curving your lips. Missing it already? Not exactly. Just wondering if I'll ever see this place again. Would you want to? I think I would. You're one of a kind, Hannah. Thanks, Victor. I think. A few weeks later, you walk into the campus coffee shop, and Victor smiles at you from the corner. Hey you, how's it going? Not so bad. No more nightmares? Nope. Well, just a stupid one where I slept through all my finals, but other than that, glad to hear it. Let me guess, hazelnut macchiato? You know me too well. Coming right up. I'd sit down to chat, but we're about to have the lunch rush in here, and Brandon would kill me if I flaked. Oh, that's okay. I brought some work to do anyway. As you walk toward a booth at the back of the shop, you suddenly hear someone calling your name and turn around. I thought that was you, Hannah. Why don't you come sit with us? Oh, sure. You join Caitlin and two of her friends at their table, sipping your macchiato shyly. Hannah's in my anthro class, Hannah. This is Zach and Tyler. Hey. Hi. Nice to meet you both. So, Hannah, Zach and I have a little bet going. Are you and Victor, like, together? Yeah, we're dating. Victor walks over and throws an arm around you, grinning it down at you. Darn right we are! What happened to all that work you had to do? It can wait. Victor leans in down to kiss you and Caitlin cheers. Knew it! Guess that's settled then. Pay up, Zach! Darn. I could have sworn you two were just friends. Sorry about them, Hannah. They're always nosing into other people's love lives. You're one to talk. As I recall, you took a lot of interest in... As Zach and Tyler start bickering, Caitlin shoots you something look. Are they always like this? More or less, but you get used to it. We should all hang out more often. I feel like I never see you around. Yeah, I've had a bit of a rough year. But I'm ready to, come out of my shell, I guess. Awesome. We're having a party at our suite this weekend. Think you two lovebirds could squeeze us into your schedule? Hannah, what do you think? I think I could make some time for that. Thank you for playing The Haunting of Braidwood Manor. Be sure to check out the other stories. If you like mystery, you'll love Endless Summer. And book. Yay! 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 I hope you guys enjoyed this amazing spooky story. It's very wholesome. It starts off really creepy. Throughout it there's some creepy stuff with the mother and whatnot, and the story is quite dark how they died and whatnot, but overall it's a pretty wholesome story. So yeah, the wholesomeness kind of outweighs the spookiness a little bit, but I have read this story I could say maybe almost 10 times. Oh my goodness, I just love it. And it's so short, it's so easy to play that I've just played it so many times over the years during Halloween time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know who your favorite characters were, what you thought of the story, if you want to see more of this app. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed The Haunting of Braidwood Manor. It is one of my favorite stories. And yeah, anyways, let me know what you thought of it in the comments. And I will see you tomorrow in the next video. See you tomorrow. Bye. Have a good night or day. Bye.